Have you ever pondered why some lakes have a peculiar U-shape? Those are known as Oxbow lakes. But how do they come to be? Well, sit tight, because we're about to embark on a fascinating journey to understand the formation of these intriguing geographical features. To comprehend the creation of an Oxbow lake, it's crucial to first understand the behavior of rivers. Rivers are constantly in motion, and they're not as straight as they might appear on a map. They twist and turn, forming what we call meanders. Meanders are bends or curves in a river's course. They occur when the river flows through soft, easily eroded sediment. As the river flows, it erodes the outer bank of the bend and deposits sediment on the inner bank. Over time, this process causes the meander to become more pronounced. Eventually, the meander may become so pronounced that the river takes a shortcut, cutting across the narrow neck of land between two bends. This shortcut is known as a cutoff. When a cutoff occurs, the river's flow is redirected, leaving behind a curved body of water called an Oxbow lake. The Oxbow lake is separated from the main river channel and is often shaped like a horseshoe or crescent. Over time, the Oxbow lake may fill with sediment and vegetation, becoming a marsh or wetland. The former river channel may also become filled with sediment, leaving behind a dry, abandoned riverbed. Oxbow lakes are important features in river ecosystems. They provide habitat for a variety of plants and animals, including fish, birds, and amphibians. They also play a role in flood control, as they can absorb excess water during periods of heavy rainfall. In conclusion, the creation of an Oxbow lake is a natural process that occurs as a result of the behavior of rivers. Understanding this process can help us appreciate the dynamic nature of our planet's waterways. Over time, these meanders grow larger due to erosion, which is the wearing away of the riverbanks by the water. The river erodes the outer bank of a meander bend while depositing silt and sediment on the inner bank. This process is known as lateral erosion. This lateral erosion causes the meanders to grow wider and wider. As they grow, the neck of the meander, that is the land between two bends of the river, becomes narrower. Eventually, the river finds a new, shorter path. This usually happens during a flood, when the river has a high volume of water and more power to erode its banks. The river cuts through the narrow neck of the meander, leaving the old meander bend isolated. Over time, the river deposits more and more sediment at the ends of the old meander. This sediment eventually builds up, cutting off the old meander bend from the main river entirely. And voila! An Oxbow lake is born. The water in the Oxbow lake is still at first. However, without the constant inflow and outflow of the river, the lake begins to stagnate. Over time, it may dry up and become a meander scar, a dried-up, U-shaped piece of land. So, to summarize, the formation of an Oxbow lake is a multi-step process. It begins with the river-forming meanders. These meanders grow larger over time due to lateral erosion. Eventually, the river cuts through the neck of the meander, isolating the old bend. Over time, sediment builds up, cutting off the old bend from the river entirely and forming an Oxbow lake. And there you have it, the birth of an Oxbow lake, a fascinating testament to the ever-changing nature of our planet. Isn't it amazing to think about how the constant motion of water can sculpt the Earth in such dramatic ways? It's a reminder that our world is always in flux, shaped by the forces of nature over time. So the next time you see a U-shaped lake on a map, you'll know the captivating story behind its formation.